quick reading for Libra en route. I'm just going to do, this one is actually for the month of June. So I know I'm jumping it a bit ahead here, but what I've got here is we're starting out the month with some hard energy. We are looking at the Ten of Swords, and we certainly are moving into some inner solace, that kind of thing. A lot of the energy here that seems to be the main energy, of course, is the Chariot and the Hermit. So those are the big cards out here. So I would feel like this is really you feeling alone. There's a big change ahead in the month of June, and there's certainly some new energy that's coming in that could suggest that there is travel up ahead. But right now, what I'm seeing here is that there's a lot of inner turmoil that you're having to sort of work through. You do have the upper hand in the situation. It doesn't feel like it's pulling you apart, but it has been a hard won scenario to get to this place. Now, the end, of course, is the Chariot card, and we'll get to the clarifiers and so on, but really that's an ultimate card that does indicate that you're on more of a successful path. But I did pull a few other cards here toward the end, which I will not, it's just two, but it does end on two other cards, which I will go through here in a minute. But for the moment, let's just stay with the cards that are out, and I'll get into the clarifiers and then the final cards that I did pull I'll bring forward here in a second. So, okay, so I just want to start out. What I do is I just do the general energy first, and then we'll go into something more specific later. So we'll just start out with what I see here. Overall, I mean, the cards do suggest sort of a push-pull sort of energy in the month of June. It's almost like there is something satisfying to a degree. I'm not saying abundance and anything that's emotionally satisfying that way, but it does seem to be more along the lines of there being almost a sense of, I don't really want to say relief exactly, but it's almost a pulling together of yourself and your situation. So we'll see how that goes. But right now, I'm just going to read out what I've got here in terms of the cards, and then we'll flesh it out a little bit later. So first off, Ten of Swords. This energy, of course, is hard energy. So this does indicate that there was some situation that you've been dealing with that has been emotionally draining. It could even indicate some kind of a betrayal for some of you. This is a betrayal around a mother figure, or a betrayal in regards to your abundance for others that are dealing with more along the lines of finances or whatever abundance is for you. So it doesn't have to be finances. I do see pentacles out here, but abundance can be more broad than that. So it somehow affects happiness overall. So there is an indicator that whatever has been taking place has really taken a lot out of you. In the month of June, you're still in that energy. It's the Ten of Swords. You're about ready to start a new cycle, but that residual is still there. It's still present. So there's still some feelings that you're having to kind of mull through and try to resolve or, come to terms with. So either way, there has been some kind of an ending and it's been a difficult situation. Could have even been, as I say, a betrayal in around a mother figure or in around some level of abundance for some of you. So again, it's not all going to be just one story here because this is general energy. So again, you can always change your energy, and you certainly have, opportunity to to move things ahead a little faster, a little slower. That's the beauty of energy. It's only something that's surrounding you at this time, but you do have all of the tools to obviously work through things at whatever rate that you have. Again, a lot of that's dependent on the people that are around you and what you draw upon for resources. So, but anyway, point is right now the energy is still a time of great change. So there is more of a positive situation further out here, but again, there could have been some kind of an end of abundance or something along that line, or something you considered to be an abundant period. Something is changing there on that level. The fact that we're moving into, again, I'll clarify a little bit more, but this is just the general energy. So the Hermit, of course, and the World. Hermit is that energy of being more introspective, looking for spiritual insights, really trying to find some sense of meaning in the world and what's the point of things, that kind of thing. So it's also about self-discovery when it's paired up with the world card. So there's something here about having to look to yourself for the answers, not to look externally. I mean, you might find something externally and you're able to process it internally, but overall, ultimately, it's almost a sense of having to come to terms or come to peace with something that, you have to find a way to accept whatever this change is here in the month of June. There is that completion of a journey, that completion of, something here, because with the world card, that does indicate that you are at that stage of having a deeper spiritual understanding, having a broader understanding on more of a global level. But there's also a sense of enlightenment here, but a deep understanding of yourself or your situation. So again, either way, there's much more highlighted spiritual awareness in the period of June. When we get to the cards of the Eight of Pentacles, and of course that one is also followed up by the Seven of Wands. So the Eight of Pentacles, in a general sort of energy, again, it's you standing up for yourself. So, or sorry, with the Seven of Wands, that's you standing up for yourself. But the Eight of Pentacles is the lead out card. So this is really putting your energy into something. So you're trying to develop some sense of mastery, trying to really get your finances pulled together. And I feel like you're really putting in some kind of hard work or commitment toward a goal in the month of June. It feels like there's a lot of, I'm not seeing intense focus necessarily, but I am feeling as though there is some strong, more assertive energy toward this direction. So you are more self-aware in this month. You are a lot more, there's a lot more potential for success here, even though I'm not seeing, it's like it taps into a little bit of energy around abundance, a little bit of energy around finances and developing a more successful path. But it's almost like you're still at a fork in the road in this month, because the Chariot, it can also be a card of trying to divide up the decision here. So it's like you can go one way with it, or you can go another way with it. And the fact that we do have the Chariot next to the Ace of Swords means there is further ahead some kind of a decision that you're going to have to make. But I do feel like whatever the decision is, it is currently coming in with some sense of like you're getting a clear mind or a clear idea that's going to help you to make a choice in the direction that you're planning to move here. So overall, though, I am seeing a lot of, cards here that kind of speak to a lot of an internal journey in the month of June. So it does feel like there's a major change coming up ahead in this month. And especially, too, because I pulled off the other cards and I haven't really shown you those last two. But I should also pull some other cards here with the Moon Oracle and so on. But we'll just start with this for now. You are still being encouraged to be confident and in this path, because you have a lot of knowledge that it's a broader understanding of your world and your place in it. So let's just take a look at, maybe I'll just pull another card here in terms of finances. What is coming in more specifically to the finances in the month of June? What do the finances look like in the month of June for Libra? All right, well, there is something here that's quite positive, because if the finances indicate that there is a Ten of Cups moment here next to a Three of Wands, that to me, again, it's not showing me Pentacles. It's not, and that's usually my indicator that there is some sense of money up ahead. But again, it's still not in the month of June. To me, this looks like you're kind of working on something that you're pushing further ahead, because the Three of Wands is an indicator that it's past the door front here. It's into sort of the next level of that, like next stage of the game, so to speak. The fact that we're working on the Ten of Cups does indicate that this is in around your happiness. This is something that is kind of the ultimate happiness for you, or something that you consider to be, quite fulfilling anyway. It brings you a lot of real fulfillment with the Ten of Cups. So again, this is a happy ending, or something that would give you peace, that you are broadly, I would still say, maybe this is more broadly kind of moving something a little more global, or, onto an internet sort of basis. But either way, because it's more specific, I did ask for the finances. I see Ten of Cups meaning that there is something around the domestic front. that I feel is giving you more of a positive in terms of a relationship. So there's something here about a joyful connection or a joyful situation in regards to family. Something is more harmonious here. Even though initially it started out to be quite a situation, but there's something around the finances, in around a family dynamic that seems to be more positive. I would say that because it's, next to the Three of Wands, I mean, this is still something that it's almost like these are family goals that are being considered. So it's like the family goal seems to be, there's connections here that seem to be operating together. Again, the Two of Wands kind of speaks to, something where you get a choice to go ahead, but I'm seeing the Three of Wands. So this is about, a new opportunity, something that's coming in here that's going to allow you to see a positive movement, positive change, something around family, something around whoever it is that you consider to be family. But it's something here that is definitely not blocking you. It's being, you're also, there's a bit of a wait card or a timing of wait with the Three of Wands. So it's almost like that is just a little further out for this ultimate happiness. But the steps are being taken. You're in the space of kind of clearing out the energy so that you can prepare for this new space, because this is clearing out the energy and getting ready for new path. So you're still in that space of trying to, you see the success, you see the positivity that's, rewards coming in around the family front. You see that there is something that is aligning, but it's just, you're having to kind of wait it out a little bit further. It's not quite in a tangible form yet. But there is some kind of, huge family blessing of sorts, I would say, that's coming in terms of the finances, or at least it seems to affect the family front in a very big way. Okay, so we'll kind of go into that again, a little bit more detail. Okay. So again, just to kind of recap, we are looking at the Ten of Swords. Swords is definitely a hard one energy. It's definitely some communication issues there. Very strongly sort of suspect that has more to do with betrayal of sorts. Again, because it's clarified with the Empress, it means either your abundance was stopped in some very abrupt way, or there was something around it where there was a betrayal around the abundance, or something that you were trying to, or again, even more specifically for some of you, a mother figure. But either way is kind of an abrupt disconnection from a mother figure here as well, for some of you. But again, it does still feel like there's more positive, more promise further out, but it's a very uncomfortable energy that I feel right there. So I feel like it's kind of immobilized you in some way. And I definitely feel like there was some difficult choices that you've had to kind of work through there. And there is, I don't feel like it is something you're not processing, like I said, because when we get to the card of the Hermit energy, that's your processing card. So, this is that energy of really having to, look at things in a different way to be able to digest it. Again, the Hermit is a really big energy, so it is the main energy that's out here, but it certainly does speak to you having to really have a more isolated period that you're reflecting. But either way, I feel like, I don't want to say you're simplifying your world in any way, because it doesn't really feel like it's a simplification. I don't see strong focus necessarily, but I do feel a lot of momentum to go forward and find, purpose and soul searching. That kind of energy is still here. I do feel like you are really exploring knowledge base, really doing a lot of exploration. Like I said, it could be even on the internet, with the World card here, but it just feels like you're opening up to a new period that's going to bring about more of an ambitious sort of idea kind of energy. So I feel like it's very solitary. Whatever this is you're doing right now, anyway, seems to be very solitary kind of energy, because you're kind of having to realign the path in some way here. So that's why I feel like you're not ready to sort of bring everybody in, but you are going to have to trust your intuition at this time. I almost feel like with the Hermit card, there's just a period of learning. I don't see a lot of cards of intuition specifically out here. So it's almost like whatever intuitive hits or that you've had maybe previously, it's almost like there's the lessons have been learned. And so it's not that you're getting those downloads now. It's more that you're actually having to find a way to implement it and put it into some kind of practical steps, because the Hermit card is the card of lessons learned. So, and that's information that's coming in. That's something that is changing you on some level. So again, even though we are moving into the Eight of Pentacles energy here, it's not, you're getting back down to the energy of, I've got to get back to work. I've got to get things moving ahead. I feel like you are trying to really figure out, what it is that you're meant to be doing here. But it's not that I don't feel like there's confusion so much as it's more about it's important to you to make progress. Really important to make progress in this period. And a lot of that has been because of the act of learning something new. Again, I'm not seeing a new job or anything like that there, but you have an idea that's coming through that's going to kind of put you into that zone, right? Where you're able to really improve yourself. There's more of a, again, as I said, more of a learned energy that's coming through as to how you're stepping forward. I also feel like I don't even really see a lot in terms of relationships or connections here. I might ask about that a little bit more specifically in the next card here, but I would just say that this is accomplishments that you're really trying to push forward with. The fact that we also have that Chariot energy and the Ace of Swords, again, those are cards of, really strongly getting clear on what's important to you. The Chariot has that ambition, that has that level of success, that desire to really go forward, really have growth and get something that you really want. So this is that energy of, having clear, strong mindset to charge ahead. So I feel like you've decided to choose a particular direction, and now that you've chosen the direction in the month of June, you're going to quickly head out and really dedicate yourself to it, because there's just a lot of energy of, motion and dedication, hard work, intelligence, and there's just a really strong sense of you're not having to get to know who you are. It's almost like you know who you are, and now you have to kind of, I'm not even saying reinvent the wheel, but it's almost like maybe you've had a lot of ideas, and this was just sort of a period of having to narrow it down. But again, the energy that you're in is you've got the drive to really make progress, and further out here as the clarifier, still in that little bit of energy of, I've got the idea now, and then in the next month, I suspect you'll really be pushing it forward, because the energy of the Ace of Swords is definitely indicating to me that the energy of the Ace of Swords is, getting clear on something. There's a destination ahead here for you, and it's forward moving. Sorry, there's progress. And I just feel like you're very connected to this. And it's like a fresh way of thinking, all of that. So I will just do one last little bit here. I just want to see if there is a significant connection to you that is what's happening with that in this month, because I don't see a lot of divine intervention necessarily. But again, there's been some sense of betrayal or hardship around the mother figure energy, or around abundance, money, something that's been difficult either way. But let's just see what that is. What's happening with the most significant relationship to you that is a focus in the month of June for Libra? What is the main energy out for the month of June for a significant relationship? What's the Four of Cups? And the Three of Pentacles. Okay. There's something here with regards to a connection. Could be with a younger person here too. I do see the Page of Cups. There is still some level of empty, well, I don't want to say emptiness, but depression or low period around it. So whatever the significant connection is to you, it does feel like things are being worked on. It's moving to another level. There's still something positive moving in regards to that Page of Cups energy. And again, this could be dealing with a younger person. Doesn't have to be romantic specifically, but whoever this connection is that's very significant to you. Page of Cups is kind of a childlike sort of energy. So either way, there's a kind of a new level of emotion that you're responding to here. So it's almost like there's more Pisces, Cancer, Scorpio, I should mention, is also very relevant here. But there's almost like there's a more expansive energy with that connection. I would say that it is still something new to the connection or relationship, meaning that if it was this relationship over here with the Ten of Swords, if that was the energy where there was something quite negative there, I would say it's now moving into more of a space where you're kind of just being nudged into a more positive energy, even though the Four of Cups still tells me that there's something here where there's kind of, still a little bit of a low ebb. So things are now taking more of an upward swing. You're getting a lot of protection, though, in this period in regards to this connection. So I feel like there is more balance in the connection. So where there was a lot of imbalance, things are starting to turn around here. So I would say that, both parties want something more meaningful. There's more possibilities in this connection, but it's almost like you're just going to have to listen to your intuition as to, if there's a forward moving gesture, then you're going to have to consider, how should I act on this? It's not that you can just jump right in and embrace it. It's almost like, more things are possible with this connection at this time, but it's almost like you just have to play it by ear a little bit with the intuitive nudging. So the fact that it's next to the Empress here, again, this tells me this could be mother energy, or it could be, again, someone you considered, your pairing, or somebody who was quite significant to you that you felt had a lot of nurturing qualities, that kind of thing. But either way, there's just more energy around, more possibilities. There's more positive emotions around a situation that has been, I would say, more negative. But again, it feels like just the way it's being paired there. It just feels like it's being worked on and sort of moving it into another realm of leveling that up. When we get to the Four of Cups, that card, of course, is where somebody's not seeing, somebody might be rejecting or had been rejecting in a connection. But again, it feels like there's more balance up ahead with that Temperance energy. So again, there's not been a lot of incredibly positive energy there, I would say. But again, the Four of Cups does feel like you weren't, or somebody else wasn't content with the relationship or the connection. And maybe there was a little bit of self-pity, or maybe they just felt that, there wasn't a lot going on or happening in that connection. So it was depression, or some kind of, like I said, some kind of a low, monotonous, draining situation that was going on there. But either way, whatever that dissatisfaction was, or those hurt feelings, and again, this could be a level of regret in this connection, but it still speaks to there being something here to kind of move it ahead in a more positive way. Like I said, it's very incremental energy, though, very small energy. So when I get to that Three of Pentacles there as well, that still speaks to something in around, it's grounded energy, it's practical, it's not loving, embracing, huge, that kind of thing. It's more along the lines of, maybe a financial gesture, or maybe something of, something that just makes you feel like it's more of resolving problems, kind of energy. So it's more like maybe there's a new level of connection, new level of intimacy, new level of loyalty, whatever that is for you. There's something in that energy that speaks to a newness or a gesture that's moving in there that helps to kind of synergize or clear up, some of the difficulty. So this could also indicate that there is maybe some finances that are also involved with this connection. But there's still something in around that energy of, I would still say that it's kind of something moving in ahead, and a token or a gesture is moving forward anyway, to something's being extended to you. But again, even with the Page of Cups, that's still news that's good that's coming in. So, I mean, I would still say that, this is something more enduring is showing up here. So I don't want to jump in to say it's, full on commitment, but I'm definitely seeing something that is more promising. So there's still some energy to be worked through there, like I said, because even with the energy of the Temperance, I mean, it's still further out, but it is still a big energy, and it definitely still speaks to finding more balance or harmony. And I think maybe that's where maybe there was a lot of imbalance previously, but this is now telling you that, maybe you need to just work on the balance and that connection first before it kind of moves into these other levels of connection. So there's compromises that kind of come with that energy of the Temperance. And we'll get to the final cards out there, guys, that I haven't shown you yet in a couple of seconds. But again, the Temperance is still that energy of I need to temper my feelings, or someone is going to have to temper their feelings. There's kind of more of a surrendering to a situation, more compromise, more tolerance. It's that kind of thing. So it just feels like there's been some stress around this situation is what I would say. And I just feel like you have to be patient and able for that to really pay off. There's more compassion with one another, I would say, in this month. More compassion, more cooperation. There could even be a little bit of a forgiveness that's going on here, but it somehow feels like there's more of a calm energy, and it feels like you're listening to your feelings rather than acting on the feelings. So it's not a rushing in energy, but it's more of an energy of committing to a deeper involvement with, whoever this is, or with yourself. So either way, like I said, what I'm seeing there in terms, and again, doesn't have to be a love connection. It can be just a general connection to somebody important to you, but there's more of a combination of effort in this period, I would say. So there's some kind of a gift of healing, so to speak, with that energy that I see there. So we're going to get to the final cards. The final cards out are, so that's kind of the relationship little element. The final cards out that I didn't want to put up there just yet was the Death card and the Sun card. This is the final cards that indicate there has been and is a significant transformation that's taking place. So anything along the lines of the Death card, of course, does speak to, a final successful passage, because it's also next to the Temperance card in there. I would say it has been some kind of releasing of a relationship. Maybe there's an element of releasing a relationship to a certain extent, and able to move it into more of a positive kind of metamorphosizing energy here. So the fact that it's right next to the Sun does indicate it's a positive passage. So for sure, this would have been, kind of an yin and the yang, right? You almost had to go through some of the negative to be able to see the positive. Because when you really think about it, if you had nothing but positive, how would you identify the negative? I know it's kind of a weird way of phrasing it, but really it's about a growing and a changing sort of period here. Lots and lots of growth in the month of June, I would say. Significant kind of regenerative energy. Scorpio might also be relevant here, but this is change that was required. It had to happen. So this is like it's looking behind you. You're in the energy of finishing up hard cycle, still feeling that there's a big transformation here, but there is going to be more of a period of a positive change. And it's like it's outgrowing. You're outgrowing whatever this period was. It was almost like it was a bit of a devastating change in some ways, but you can breathe again here. And this is where the situation's improving in some way here. And I'm just going to maybe pull a couple more just in terms of career, but I just wanted to say this is kind of that energy, like I said, where you're just kind of closing things right up here, and it's now moving into a space of things being illuminated. There's a lot more of a positive sort of energy coming in here, where I would say, the Sun card does also indicate more of a self-realization and more of an acceptance of a situation. So there's a lot of really good energy here. Leo is also significant with that card, but I just feel like that combination has been kind of hard won empowerment. And again, it's you know, maybe some element of forgiving here, but in a very incremental, small little way. There could be the potential for travel or something involved here as well, but they're either way, they're starting to build more of a supportive kind of energy in this period for the month of June. But there has been a really big ending here for some, you're closing up a really hard cycle in June. And again, some of you, it's going to be a little bit further out, some because you're all operating on different timelines. But I would still say for the most of you, you're kind of in the energy there and you're really just getting ready to shut the door on everything there. But again, there's more balance, there's more harmony, there's more wellness, there's more positive, there's more recovery. All that energy is here. And I do feel like it's a period of more meaning either way. So positive outcome to whatever that struggle here was relevant for you. But let's just pull one of the other cards. I just want to see what that comes out with for, again, it's the Moon Oracle cards. So let's see where that goes. What is the advice? What is the advice for Libra in the month of June? What is the advice for Libra in the month of June? Acceptance. So it looks like you have to accept a situation and able to harmonize things. And what is the biggest energy that will impact them in the month of June? What is the biggest energy impacting them in the month of June? Attraction. Okay, so I'm just going to put the light on, guys. Attraction to what? So I guess on a more broad level, I mean, that could be that there's more attraction in this connection, or that you are feeling much more magnetic, or somebody is much more attractive in this period. But either way, there's an energy of, you know, you kind of drawing things to you versus any kind of repelling energy. Yeah, but either way, I just feel like this is whatever that negative imbalance was before. It does feel like you're avoiding those extremes because you're bringing things to you. It's more positive energy either way. Like I said, I just feel like there's a lot of change that's coming in here in the period of June. So it feels like you are getting clear on what it is that you want. You've got a new direction that's coming through. You're able to draw more things to you. You're kind of more magnetic this month, and you can attract the things that you want, you know, and able to make something happen. So with the card of acceptance, there's clearly something that you're going to have to embrace that is a new beginning of sorts. So there is something that's the advice that was given to you. So the advice is that you really need to accept the current situation, or whatever that first step is toward change, because you are now moving into a new future for yourself, basically. Ten of Swords is that hard-won cycle, but again, the cycle that you're moving into now is one of abundance. So I would say, you know, overall, these cards have been telling quite a story. There's been a lot of push and pull, a lot of just as much negative as there has been some positives. So it's almost like you just need to prepare yourself for, because it's a lot of negative, like I don't want to say negative, but it's a lot of back and forth, yin yang, you know, and able to see one, you had to have the other. So it's almost like you had to be struck with the lightning and able to make the changes. But again, embrace these changes fully, because that's what's going to help you to, you know, harness the momentum to keep going. But either way, like I said, yeah, the card of acceptance was the main energy out there. So I definitely feel like you've got a lot of happiness up ahead. Definitely feels like there's still a lot coming in, even on the family front there. Just wondering if I should pull any more for, just seeing if I've got my other cards out here, guys. Sorry. Just going to pull from another deck, the Literary Tarot, and just see if there's any other message that's going to come through. Sorry, guys. Couple of seconds. Okay. Is there a message that needs to come through in regards to June? Another message for June for Libra 2024. Okay, just about there, guys. Okay, so that one is the Two of Quills. Let's just see what that one is all about. This one I'm going to read. I don't read this deck very often, but the Two of Quills. One sec here, guys. Okay, the Two of Quills. That one is all about... Oh, almost anxiety, really. It's, in an upright sense, it's feeling like there's been some difficult choices, or there is going to be some difficult choices to be made in the month of June. Some kind of hidden information that is going to come forward that you will be getting news of here. That's also relevant. And it might feel like you have some clash in around the fortune, but it does indicate that there is something that's hidden information that you feel like you're being forced to make some kind of a choice over. But it does say you might feel like armies are clashing at your gates and your fortunes are caught in the middle. Your actions will show what is in your heart, but you are forced to make an impossible choice. I'm just going to pull one more. One sec here, guys. Last one out. What is the last message for Libra in the month of June? The Five of Light. That's usually fives are all about change. Couple of seconds here, guys. Okay, so the Five of Light is all about what you wanted slipped through your fingers, toppled like a drop champagne coupe. Now it's only a green light on a distant dock, trapping you ceaselessly in the past. So it, in short, does indicate that there is some kind of loss, grief, or disappointment or sadness that you're mourning. So it does look like there is something you're going to have to accept in this month that is going to be feeling like you've lost something. But there is something that remains. Just be aware of that. But there is a possibility here that you're kind of dwelling in the past here as well. So something around that energy is what you're going to have to accept. All right, one last one just because. What other energy do I need? Sorry guys. I don't know if I can reach that card. I might have to pull another one. All right, pulling another one. Too much work. What do I need to know for Libra in the month of June? Sorry guys, just trying to read it here. The Page of Light. So again, this is getting clear on, usually it's like the Page of Swords. So it's getting clear on something. Could also be dealing with a younger energy, but it does indicate a time where you have to be more sensitive, but be, more idealistic here. Because there's some kind of new innocence or naivety, something that is coming in here around that. So it's a journey nonetheless. It's doing getting some kind of, well, the card actually indicates, remember that which is of great worth to you, take heart and remain persistent, because it is something that you might be perceiving in a negative way, but in actual fact, it's going to have more of a positive connotation. So even though you're not seeing the positivity in it, you are getting some ideas that are coming through, fresh ideas that are coming through, but you're also learning of a new situation, and you're going to have to go and choose a specific path in this period. It does look like it's going to be a bit of a hard path, though, but it certainly does speak to some positive energy coming through, but it just doesn't feel like it's all that positive because you're having to accept or let go of something here. So it looks like the journey ahead, according to the card, does indicate that there is some, possibility for prospects and creativity and good things. But again, you are not seeing the positive in it. You're only looking at it from one perspective, so it's leaving you with a bit of an emotional, insecure sort of feeling. But either way, I would still say that your energy overall is kind of back and forth a little bit for the most part, but it's still more positive, despite whatever it is that you've been going through. But okay, one last message and then I'm finishing it up. What is the best that can be hoped for in the month of of June? What's the best that can be hoped for in the month of June? 2 cards. 6 of Parchment, King of Parchment. That's excellent. Those are good cards. So again, 6 is all about finding balance. Definitely is still in that energy of kind of a good, how do I say, back and forth sort of helping feel. Give me 1 second here. Just looking for that one, guys. Alrighty. I should use this one more often. I'd find it a lot faster. Okay, so this is the 6 of Parchment. So that card does indicate that there is more generosity being given to you. There's more support. There's more sharing. There's more connection. And it definitely does indicate that there is going to be some restored kindness towards you. And there is a generosity. And we also have the King of Parchment, so that is the ultimate. So this is whether this is you or someone else that's coming in with a certain level of prosperity or money. There's some kind of security here up ahead, and it definitely feels like it's more of a safe kind of energy. So someone's being generous with you, I would say, in this month, and it does indicate that there is going to be more of a pursuit toward goals, excellence, dreams, more expansive, but it definitely is very positive energy. But there is some kind of sacrifice that goes with that as well. Anyway, that's what I have for you. Keep moving forward and never give up. And hopefully that gave you a little bit of insight for the month of June. Take care, guys.